This summer, we're making looking and feeling your best that much easier thanks to these outfit formulas. Basically, pieces you know are gonna work really well and look on your body. And today we are talking about pear shapes, so let's go. So let's make sure we are on the same page. So pears are defined by having a hip width that is much wider than the shoulder width and the waist. Now, if you remember from previous videos, lines are super important because they affect the way that they make your body look in clothing. And we're not just talking about lines as in stripes or a sort of like pattern in your clothing. Lines are formed in many ways in your clothing. A couple of examples: lapels, hemlines, belt, the straps on your shoes. These are all forming lines, and the way those lines are placed on your body can affect the way that you look. So now a quick overview. Diagonal lines divide, so you wear them where you want some division. You avoid them where you don't want some division. Vertical lines lengthen and lean. You wear them where you want something lengthened and leaned. You avoid them where you don't. And horizontal lines shorten and widen. You wear them in areas that you want shortened and widened, and you avoid them in areas where you don't want things shortened and widened. And again, like I just mentioned, pear shapes are defined by having a hip width that is much wider than the waist and the shoulder width. So if you are looking to balance a pear, the idea is to avoid adding visual bulk to the hips. Now, dear friends, as I say in all of these videos, so outfit formulas are not necessarily outfit ideas. They're meant to guide you into the silhouettes that you instantly know are gonna look amazing on your body type. And what's amazing about this, you can take these characteristics and apply them to any outfit, any situation, any lifestyle. You just know the silhouette, boom, boom, boom. You get dressed faster, and you look good. Now, again, with a pear shape, my dear pears, you are already the shape. So styles that honor this are your thing, boo. And these are the outfit formulas to get you there. So the first one is going to be a blouse plus flat front bottoms. So remember, I just said, like, I don't know if that was like 10 seconds ago, 15 seconds ago, but I just said it. You know, you can rewind if you were skipping through the video. When you are a pear, you are the shape. So with other body types where we're using clothing and volume and lines and so on and so forth to create the illusion of a shape, with a pear, you are already the shape. So when it comes to your bottoms, watch out for things like pleating, excess pockets, like, you know, those really large pockets, like those voluminous type of pockets that are on the sides of like pants and skirts and things like that. You typically want to avoid them and go for things that are more of like a flat front. You also want to be mindful of wear designs, where if there's a print, you want to be careful of what the print is and where certain shapes of the print land. And you'll see some examples of that soon. So this one here, this white blouse with these cute pink shorts and the pink heels. I mean, you know, like I said, you can switch out the accessories if the heels aren't your thing. You know, you can put on some sneakers, some flat sandals that have some support. But the point here is the flat bottom. You see that? You see how that flat bottom, because remember, you are the shape. Here's another example. I just mentioned prints and look how quickly the prints come up. So you can wear prints. Just because I said flat front doesn't necessarily mean that it needs to be plain. It also doesn't mean boring, because remember, as a pear, you are the shape already, okay? So with this, you can wear print. Now notice how, although this does have a print, the front is still flat. There's no excess big pocket. There are prints on here, and you have to be mindful, because something like this, depending on your height, or, you know, where your torso is short, or if you have a longer torso or what have you, where the print is going to hit you is going to, you know, vary from person to person. So just be mindful, because there are some larger size prints on here that could kind of like add visual curve. So you just be mindful of where the print is hitting and what the print could be doing visually to your shape. But I think a print like this one that she's wearing here is fine, because it's not doing anything. Like, it's not like a big fleur-de-lis print. It's not like solid pattern and all of a sudden you got all of these like curves on the pocket area, on the hip area. So I think this is a safe print for most people. And also, friends, when you're wearing these type of outfits, especially, I'm going to show you some skirt options in a second. Don't be afraid to size up and then get it tailored in to fit the waist, because especially if you're someone who's a pear and you got a derriere, you know, sometimes I ain't got to be the one to tell you that sometimes when you're wearing shorts or skirts that, you know, the booty kind of of hikes it up in the back. And for some occasions, you know, that's typically fine, you know, do you, boo. But unfortunately, you know, sometimes there are dress codes, especially at work. So don't be afraid to size up, get things tailored in at the waist so that they fit, because in the sizing up, it kind of helps the material to drape over the body better, and then you just get it taken in. So finding a good tailor is key with probably any body type, but especially if you are a pair. And of course, you can do this outfit formula with trousers. Here's a very cute look that pairs a t-shirt with some flat front, wider leg opening trousers. Now, which brings me to a point here that I wanted to say about trouser pant openings. You see how this one is a wide leg? It's not the widest leg that we've seen. If you're looking to balance, you do want that wider leg opening. However, if you're looking to emphasize a pair and, you know, put some emphasis on the hips, the straighter and the skinnier leg openings are gonna be what you're gonna wanna look for. So, you know, you can kind of determine your own destiny. So if you wanna look more balanced, you wanna go with the wider leg opening. If you wanna emphasize the hips more, then you go with the more closed or skinnier tapered leg opening. Here's yet another look. And, you know, obviously, you know, you can button up the buttons. You don't have to have, you know, everything. Not everything is, you know, like literal or whatever. Or you can take it literally if you want to. That's on you. I probably might, you know, do a little. Anyway, the pleating, I want you to take a look at the pleating on these pants, these beautiful yellow pants. I love these pants because the pleating is forming a vertical line. Remember, vertical lines lengthen and lean. So this is also something that's going to help to balance the hips and balance a pair shape. And you got the wider leg opening. And then of course you can do this kind of outfit formula with maxi or midi skirts. I love the way that she has these pinks paired here, especially it's like the right level of contrast for the level of contrast that she has naturally. And if you have like no clue what I'm talking about here, make sure you check out my Your Right Colors playlist so you can figure out what your right color season and colors are, because we've got quite a couple of videos on there. And if I dare say so myself, I feel like I'm good at explaining how to figure out your color palette, you know? And I've gotten that feedback too, you know, like, you know, give me a little pat on the shoulder. And of course you can do this with something more casual. I love the concept of like a concert tee and then a midi skirt. This is also something that's very cute for a pair. You can pair this with, does she have one? Yeah, she's got on sandals here, but you can wear sneakers if you want to, nobody's stopping you. But what I will say, especially in the summertime, because a lot of times we're showing more leg skin, and if you're looking to elongate the leg, you want to be mindful of the type of shoe that you're wearing. Something with a horizontal line, like it could be a high top sneaker, it can be a sandal that has a strap. Horizontal lines on the legs do tend to shorten the leg length. So if you're looking to keep the leg long, but you still want to, you know, be comfortable and wear a sneaker, you want to go for something low top. As much leg skin, foot and leg skin as you can show as possible, the longer that your legs are gonna look. And you don't always have to do that with a super short skirt either. Here's another example, still very casual, but you kind of dressed it up a little bit with the coin belt. And then I love this example. This is something that's really cute for like brunch or going out for vacation. Going out for vacation, is that? Y'all, I'm still recovering from COVID, so mind my brain. Now, another outfit formula that works amazing for pairs, of course, the one-piece wonder, whether it's a dress, a romper, or a jumpsuit. But the crazy thing about this for a pair, the things that look the best on pairs look like nothing on the hanger. Okay? Like, you'll look at some of these on the hanger and you'll be like, what is this shapeless piece of fabric? But remember what I said, as a pair, you are the shape, okay? Like, it might look straight up and down on the hanger, but once you get that on, you know how you do. So, for example, the slip dress. She looks absolutely gorgeous in the slip dress. And if you saw it on the hanger and, you know, you didn't know that, like, you know, the potential, you might be like, what is this? But when you see it on, it's like, oh, it's on. Ditto with this one. I mean, these are kind of the same thing. Although I will say that the second slip dress with that more open neckline is probably better if you're someone busty. You know, because if you're busty, you want something like an open neckline to kind of help balance out the boobs. Which, by the way, there is a video on tips and tricks if you have a bigger bust. Make sure you check it out here, you know, after you finish watching this video. Now, some of you said you don't like to show your arms, and while I don't understand that, because I'm like, girl, it's hot outside. You would rather cover up your arms than to be free? But, you know, I don't get it, but I get it. You know what I mean? It's not for me to get, you know what I mean? But ladies who cover your arms, can I persuade you to show your arms? Like, can I? Let me know in the comments. But if you like the idea of the slip dress, but you're like, girl, I got to cover my arms, this is really cute here where she paired it with the jean jacket. To me, a jean jacket in the summertime is still kind of hot, but you know, it's a compromise. Or you can wear something like a sheer kimono over it. But again, let me know in the comments if I'm able to persuade you to show your arms. We might need to do a separate video on, you know, arms and things like that. Down the line, I don't know, because I'm just getting over the vid. You know, my schedule's kind of backed up. My energy was kind of low, you know what I mean? And you know, I got a whole bunch of other, you know, we'll get to it, but just, you know, don't hold me to it if you don't see it right away. Now, another outfit formula. I don't even have a term for this, so we'll just call it like it's like the super pretty statement top plus flat front bottom, which is kind of like the first one, but hear me out. Now, because the pair tends to have narrow shoulders, you are able to really play up statement blouses. And when I say statement, I mean statement. Like, look at this beautiful, what, is that yellow? Is that chartreuse? I'm not quite sure, but it's lovely on Tanika B here. But you see how the bottom part, flat front, because you as a pair, you're the shape. And then she's got the amazing statement top up top, clearly. Here's another example with this blue dress. Super dramatic sleeves, but you have that flat front bottom because again, as a pair, you are the shape. Here's another option that might be more vacation mode. She's got the, like, I just love this. I just love this look, this crochet skirt. Now, the skirt does have a horizontal line print all up and through, but I think because the skirt is a longer skirt that it does kind of, it's like almost like an optical illusion because the horizontal lines can make the hips look wider, but because the skirt itself is a long vertical line, it still kind of slims. It's like a, ooh. And then here's another option. Again, this is probably definitely for vacation, you know, unless I see people outside, you know, I wouldn't wear this exactly, but I would wear, you know, a top like that for sure. Now, this is something where it's kind of like, okay, the shape of the skirt works. However, there's the horizontal lines and the horizontal lines do widen. They can make the lips. I'm telling you, I got COVID brain. They can make the hips look wider, which to me is not necessarily a bad thing. It depends on, you know, your goals when you're getting dressed. So something like this, you can be like, you know what? I want to be a little bit more bodacious. So, you know, you wear it with the horizontal stripes. If you're like, maybe not, then you look for something that's similar to this, but with vertical stripes. So by now, I'm sure you're picking up what I'm putting down when it comes to these outfit formulas for pairs this summer. However, if you're a pair with a bigger belly or you have a long or short torso, you might need some more tips. And don't worry, because I got you. In either one of these videos here, you know, you click on one, click on them both. Like, hell, look at the whole dressing for your body outfit formula playlist. But whatever you decide to do, click on it and I'll see you there.